Long ago, in a time far beyond the reach of human memory, Mars was not the desolate, red desert we see today. It was a living world. The sky above Mars was once blue, filtered by a thin but habitable atmosphere. Vast oceans stretched across its equator, feeding dense forests of alien flora and bioluminescent jungles. Towering crystalline cities rose from the plains of Tharsis, powered by limitless energy drawn from deep beneath the planet's surface. This was the era of the Martians, an ancient, technologically advanced civilization older than any on Earth. Their knowledge of energy manipulation, interstellar travel, and genetics surpassed even our most ambitious dreams. But like many great civilizations, they became their own undoing. Cydonia was their crown jewel, a sprawling city complex that housed the Council of 12, a ruling body that governed not through force, but through mind-linked consensus. In its heart stood the face of Mars, a massive monument carved into a mesa, representing the fusion of science, art, and spiritual reverence for the cosmos. But beneath their utopia simmered divisions. A faction within the Martian elite, obsessed with control and the manipulation of reality itself, began experimenting with dangerous zero-point energy. Despite warnings from the elder scientists, they initiated a catastrophic experiment, a weapon, some say, that tore through the Martian magnetosphere, unleashing a global shockwave. In a single day, the oceans boiled away, the atmosphere was stripped into space, and most of the Martian population was annihilated. Only a few thousand survived, burrowing deep underground into massive vaults near the poles, clinging to life and memory. Over millennia, even they vanished, some say they ascended, others that they sleep in stasis, awaiting a return to the surface. Earth agencies like NASA have found signs of this cataclysm. Satellite images of strange, angular structures in Cydonia. Patterns that defy natural geology. A face. A pyramid. A city layout mimicking sacred geometry. But instead of exploring these anomalies, they've obfuscated them, calling them illusions, coincidences, or low-resolution imaging artifacts. What if the truth is simply too disruptive? It was Sol for 21, just another day for NASA's Curiosity rover as it crawled across the Gale crater. Dust storms danced on the horizon, and Curiosity's onboard computer methodically scanned, photographed, and transmitted images back to Earth. But buried among the thousands of raw image files was something that shouldn't have been there. To the untrained eye, it looked like a rock, nothing unusual. But to the seasoned anomaly hunters watching every NASA feed in real time, it was unmistakable, a sculpted object. It's a statue. The image rapidly circulated in online forums. Zoomed, enhanced, filtered. It showed what looked like a humanoid figure partially buried in sediment, a helmeted head, a defined torso, even a broken staff clutched in one eroded hand. Too symmetrical. Too smooth. Too human. And it wasn't the first. There were hundreds of anomalies found over the years. A metallic-looking sphere casting an unnatural shadow. What appeared to be a doorway in the cliff face of Mount Sharp. A rectangular panel half buried in Martian soil with visible rivets. A skull, human-shaped, but elongated and with double eye sockets. NASA explained them all the same way, pareidolia, the human tendency to see patterns in randomness. But for those who had spent years cataloguing these images, the coincidences were piling up too fast. In 2023, a former JPL imaging analyst, referred to only as Lauren, leaked internal documentation showing that many of the rover images had been pre-screened and partially edited before public release. They call it image cleaning. It's standard practice. But I saw what they removed. Metallic structures. Wires. Symmetry. They don't even deny it internally, they just call it geoanomaly suppression. When asked why they'd hide it, Lauren simply replied, "Because it proves we're not alone. And that we're not the first." The theory goes that long before Earth civilizations rose, another species, possibly related to or even preceding humanity, once lived on Mars. They left behind a record, scattered artifacts, broken statues, forgotten monuments, now decaying slowly under Martian winds. If NASA revealed these truths, it would rewrite history, religion, and science. Instead, the narrative remains just rocks. What if life began not on Earth, but in the waning twilight of Mars? After the Cydonia cataclysm, the few surviving Martians realized that their planet was dying. The air had grown thin, radiation levels spiked, and their once thriving civilization was reduced to isolated vaults beneath a crumbling world. But they were not without hope. A secret project, known in later whispers as Exodus, was conceived. The Martians had long observed a young, blue planet orbiting a nearby star, Earth. With a climate not unlike Mars before the disaster, it offered a second chance. They would not simply migrate, they would terraform life itself. Martian scientists engineered new beings, proto-humans, biologically adapted to Earth's unique gravity and atmosphere, seeded with fragments of Martian memory and instinct. These early humans were sent to Earth in gene pods, falling like meteors into fertile valleys. Over tens of thousands of years, they spread. Forgotten were the true origins of their creators, but embedded deep in their myths and dreams were hints, stories of gods from the sky, wars in the heavens, and golden ages now lost. The Sumerians, Egyptians, and Mayans left behind star maps and monuments aligned to Mars and its mysterious past. Some believe that the Anunnaki, deities in Sumerian mythology, were in fact these last Martian survivors, periodically returning to Earth to guide or influence human development. Others suggest that our own rapid technological advancement, especially in the 20th century, is due to recovered Martian technology like Roswell and Area 51. Over time, Earth remade us in her image, genetically, mentally, and spiritually. The Martian origins became buried in our subconscious, only surfacing in strange dreams of red deserts, ancient wars, and unexplainable yearning for the stars. What if, every time we look to Mars with curiosity, we are merely longing to return home?